The Honda CRV is one of the best-selling SUVs in the United States. More than 350,000 people go to a Honda dealership and buy one each year. And for 2023, the CRV has received some updating. Now, I already brought you the review of the gasoline-only CRV, but today I'm driving the more fuel-efficient one, and this time around, it's also the sportiest one. My name is Omar, and this is the 2023 Honda CRV Hybrid. Alright, so Honda is simplifying its CRV lineup with just 5 trims to make things less confusing, and thank God, because before, you had like 10 trims that you could pick from. So for 2023, you basically have the LX, the EX, the Sport Hybrid, the EXL, and the Sport Touring Hybrid. And yeah, the 2 Sport trims are also the Hybrid trims. Meaning this one here should be pretty quick, so let's pop it into Sport mode and go. Yeah, it's decent. I mean, it's a CRV. I'm not expecting this to hit 60 in less than 6 seconds or anything like that. But realistically, the new one will do 60 in 8 seconds, which is actually better than the outgoing CRV Hybrid. Now, here's the funny thing. I actually got to drive the new Accord Hybrid before I got to drive the CRV Hybrid, even though this came out before that. The reason I mention that is because this is powered by the same setup that you have in the Accord Hybrid. So under the hood, you have a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder engine and a 2-motor hybrid system that helps it make 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. And just like the Accord Hybrid, this doesn't have a CVT or an eCVT transmission. Instead, the 2-liter engine here is responsible for acting as a generator to charge the battery, and it can also drive the front wheels, but most of the time, the wheels are actually driven by the electric motor, so this almost feels like driving an EV. However, this does imitate shifts of a transmission. And because of that, those imaginary shifts are actually very smooth. You don't feel any jerky movements as you're accelerating in this. I'll change a gear right about now. Nothing. I felt absolutely nothing, which I absolutely love. The CRV to me is already one of the, if not the most smoothest riding compact SUV in the segment. It has a much more compliant ride than the RAV4, the Hyundai Tucson, and the Kia Sportage, so if comfort is on the top of your priority list, then the CRV is probably your best option. By the way, if you're wondering what these paddle shifters are, they're basically here to help you manage your braking regen from coasting to as close to one pedal drive as you can get. That said, you're working with a few drive modes here, including normal, eco, snow, and sport. I've mostly been bouncing around in normal and sport. I did mess around with eco just a little bit to maximize my miles per gallon, but no matter which mode you're in, this drives butter smooth. But take a listen to the sound, or the fake engine noise that it makes when you have this in sport mode. It's almost cute. And since there's no gear changes, every time you hit the accelerator, that sound comes on. Kind of weird. But yeah, everything about this driving experience is just pleasant. You don't expect a smooth ride quality like this in this segment, and the CRV has always offered that. And I don't mean to knock the sport part of it. I know most buyers in this segment don't really care for 0 to 60 times or anything like that, but this does offer you enough power to get up and go and help you switch lanes. That said, since this is a CRV Hybrid, we have to talk about fuel economy. This year, you can get the CRV Hybrid in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive model will give you the better of the two with 40 miles per gallon combined. The all-wheel drive model this year actually loses 1 mile per gallon for a total of 37, which isn't too big of a deal at all since you get more with the CRV this year. That said, what's more impressive to me than MPGs is the range that you get from these. The front-wheel drive model will give you a total range of 560 miles on a full tank of gas, while the all-wheel drive model will give you 518 miles. If you're one of those people that can't stand EVs not getting even close to 300 miles of range, then hybrids are the way to go. And Honda offers some of the best ranges in the game. I believe the new Accord Hybrid will give you 614 miles on a full tank, which is absolutely nuts. Imagine how less frequently you'll be visiting the gas station. But yeah, when it comes to being one of the quietest and smoothest compact SUVs in the segment, the CRV and the CRV Hybrid still reign supreme. Of course, you can get more overall SUV with its competitors, but it's also the reliability that keeps a CRV on top. That said, let's talk about the looks because I think this is one of the best looking Honda SUVs out right now. Honda's recent design moves have really impressed me. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of the new Civic or the new Accord, but I think both of those look great. And I gotta say that the updates that Honda has made in the SUV department are even better. I love the way the new HRV looks, the Pilot, and this CRV. In terms of length, this is 2.7 inches longer than the outgoing model and sits on a wheelbase that is 1.6 inches longer as well. Now, in terms of actual design, it's definitely more rugged than the outgoing CRV, and it definitely looks more grown up and sophisticated. You have a larger grille that really emphasizes the front end. Of course, everyone is all in on big grills these days. And then you have a giant Honda logo right in the middle, which also houses some radar sensors. All CRVs now come standard with these slim LED headlights and LED turn signals, so that's pretty cool. The Sport and Sport Touring Hybrid get a more aggressive looking grille, along with the Sport Touring Hybrid also getting the silver trim right here at the bottom. From the side, you'll notice the significantly longer hood, and when it comes to the wheels, the EX, the EXL, and the Sport ride on 18-inch wheels, while the Sport Touring gets 19-inch wheels, but both of the Sport models get these blacked out wheels that look pretty cool. Another thing that you might notice from the side is the side view mirrors are now mounted on the doors. With the adjustments made to the A-pillars and the new location of the side view mirrors, this definitely improves visibility on the inside. On the back, the CRV keeps its vertical taillights. You now have standard LED taillights with a little bit of more design to them, and that gives it more character. Also, if you go for the Sport and Sport Touring, those are the only trims with the rectangular exhaust finishers, which are fake. That said, the more grown-up and sophisticated look of the CRV carries over to the inside as well. If you're familiar with the interior of the new Civic and the HRV, then the interior of the CRV will be very familiar. Honda is going for a more simple and clean layout with their new interior design, and I really like it. Quality-wise, there's a solid use of high-quality and soft-touch materials throughout this cabin, like here on the dash, on the door panels, basically everything that is within reach or at eye level. But again, one thing that I did notice is that you have a very wide open point of view sitting in the driver's seat. And again, that's because Honda pushed out the A-pillars on the CRV by a little bit more than 4 degrees on each side, giving you a very spacious feel. Now, I was already a big fan of the seats on the outgoing CRV. In my opinion, they are one of the most comfortable seats in this segment, but Honda says that they've made the front seats on the new CRV even more comfortable. Now, for 2023, what's cool is that every single trim of the CRV now gets heated seats as standard. However, what's not cool is that you can't get ventilated seats on the CRV. I actually like ventilated seats in super hot summer days, but you can't get those in the CRV. You can get them on the competitors, but not here. My test model also has a heated steering wheel, which I think is a dealer installed accessory. Oh, and by the way, all CRVs now come standard with a power sliding moonroof, so that's nice. But yeah, let's move on to the tech. Unfortunately, none of Honda's new SUVs get the Google-based infotainment system that you have on the new Accord. And that's because Honda was a little late on getting things wrapped up in time for the updates, so you might get it on the 2024 model year. That said, the CRV EX and Sport models come with a 7-inch touchscreen display, while the EXL and the Sport Touring Hybrid get a 9-inch touchscreen. All trims get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. However, they are wired on the EX and the Sport trims, and wireless on the EXL and Sport Touring. Unlike the Civic and the HRV, the CRV here does get a navigation system, which is a bit surprising because I feel like most people will just end up using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but the Civic and the HRV that I drove cannot be had with the native navigation system from Honda. And then just like on the new HRV and the Pilot, the new CRV gets a 7-inch digital instrument cluster, and only the left side of it has something happening digitally. You can go through and circle through a bunch of various information and settings, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that you can't get the full screen digital gauge cluster that you have in the Civic Touring or the new Accord. As for driver assist tech, as usual, you're packed with a long list of standard features as a part of Honda Sensing. You get adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist with lane centering, lane departure warning, automatic high beam, traffic sign recognition, road departure mitigation, and unlike some other Honda models, blind spot monitoring is actually standard on the CRV. Camera game wise, you only have a rear view camera. You can't get a 360 camera, so that kind of sucks. You can get a 360 on the competitors, but not here on the CRV. Alright, all that said, one of the main reasons people buy a CRV is practicality. So let's pull over and check out what you're working with. All right, so let's start off by checking out the legroom that you have in the second row. By the way, one thing that I absolutely love about the CRV is that the rear doors open almost at a 90-degree angle, so you can load and unload your kids in and out of a car seat very easily. Look, you can kind of see all the way through, 90 degrees. That's very convenient. Now, once you get back here, you're working with a total of 41 inches of legroom, which is very, very spacious. I'm about 6 foot tall. That is my seating position. As you can see, I've got legroom for days and days. And again, that's because the Honda CRV has increased its wheelbase by a total of 1.6 inches. But yeah, in terms of legroom, the new CRV is pretty much on par with the Toyota RAV4, the Kia Sportage, and the Hyundai Tucson. Not only that, you can get more comfortable because the rear seats of the CRV recline by a total of 10.5 degrees, which is actually really far. That's the steepest recline I've seen on any vehicle, to be honest. However, if you're looking for heated rear seats, you cannot get those on the CRV. Now let's check out the cargo space that you're working with in the new CRV. Honda says that this is one of the quickest tailgates they've ever made in terms of opening and closing. So let's just pop it open and see how quick it is. Nice, pretty quick, I don't have to wait around. Now, behind the second row, you're working with 36.3 cubic feet. With the second row down, you're working with 76.5, which makes this the most spacious in terms of cargo space in this segment, more than the Hyundai Tucson, the Kia Sportage, and the RAV4. All right, before we get into the pricing details and whether or not if you should buy the CRV Hybrid, let me put in a few important daily ownership highlights that I'd love to show all of you. You have a total of 4 cup holders, 2 in the front right there, and then you have 2 in the back right here in the center armrest. Of course, you have some bottle holders on the side of the doors, but those are not real cup holders. Here are the keys to the CRV. Honda's new set of keys are pretty tiny. Door close sound from the outside, and the inside, solid. Charging game-wise, in the front you have a USB A and C port right there and a wireless charger. Those sitting in the back have 2 USB-C ports right there. And of course, we have to do an indicator and horn sound test. Indicator first. Pretty simple. Now for the horn sound. I haven't honked it yet, actually, but I do remember the gasoline CRV, so. Ha! That's cute. Oh, should you buy yourself a Honda CRV if you're in the market for a compact SUV? Look, I gotta say, this segment has heated up quite a bit, and there is a lot of good choices out there. The competition for the CRV has gotten really tough. But the CRV is still one of the best options. Pricing starts at $28,410, but if you want to go for the hybrid, you're looking at over $32,000. And the top of the line Sport Touring Hybrid, like the one that I'm driving here, can hit right under $40,000. Now, for that kind of money, you can get more SUV, more tech, more features in something like the Kia Sportage or the Hyundai Tucson. I even tested the Dodge Hornet GT recently, and that for $40,000 has heated and ventilated front seats. It had heated rear seats, so that was packed with a lot more for $40,000. Not to mention, it also had a lively 268 horsepower engine under the hood. But yeah, the new CRV is a solid update over the outgoing model, but it is an incremental update. I really wish they had done more with some spicy tech and features. But no matter what, the CRV will always be on the top of the shopping list for many SUV buyers because it's reliable, it's comfortable, and it's affordable, and you can't beat that. Either way, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. My handle is @OmarDrives. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace. Yeah, it's surprising that no matter how much its competitors do with convenience, tech, and even luxury, the CRV still reigns supreme, and that's because it has years and years of just great sales figures, great reliability that have carried over its legacy, and it's hard to compete with that. Most people will always default to the best-selling and the best-known model, and that's the CRV.